Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Kid Maestro, and I'm back. Last week, I did not stream live because, my car would not start. So, long story short, Sunday night last Sunday, I went to go get some unhealthy food. Which is what I get late at night, and I realized I tried to put the fob in my ignition, and it just didn't turn. It didn't wasn't reading, and so I ran around town in somebody else's whip I thought it was might have been the fob battery, so I found a replacement battery. Ended up still not working, and so I was like, all right, maybe I get some help in the morning from my dad. He looked at it, didn't know what it was, so he had a spare fob to my car at his shop. So he ran up there to get it, and in that interim time, I knew he was going to be coming back, and he had a busy day. So not only was I not able to get here, I was thinking about streaming from the house, but the time I would have been streaming, he might have pulled up, and I didn't want to be holding him up. So I just decided to forgo last week and just get that situated. Ended up getting it situated. That fob never started working again. So, but we back mobile. Yeah. And then this past week was crazy. Let me turn this down a little bit. What you're listening to right now is Taj and Tapes Volume 14. Volume 14. We've been putting out a beat tape every week for 14 weeks. That's a great accomplishment, only possible by God's grace and my life operating. It allowed me to do that up to this point, and I'm just grateful. I feel very pushed. It's been not easy keeping up with these. Not in the slightest. Just be straight up with y'all. Well, and let me just address this elephant in the room. I got shades on today. I know it's different, but y'all get used to it. I started wearing, I've always been wearing sunglasses. Most people don't see me wear them because typically I'm only wearing them in the car when I'm driving. Just because I kind of have been conditioned personally to feel like wearing sunglasses in social settings was a little bit pretentious, and I just convinced myself it was out of my character. But one day I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna rock these joints, and because anytime I do something out of the ordinary, it just gets a lot of attention, and so I am now known as Sunglasses Kid whenever I have these on. So it denotes a whole new personality, which it's not really, but it's just very entertaining for the people who see me on a regular basis. So yeah, welcome to Sunglasses Kid, making my official YouTube debut, and hopefully it's a good day. But yeah, this week was crazy, bro. So bros and sisters, I went to Nashville with Mad Beats for something called the Music City Producers Showcase. Producer named Slago is hosting this event where it's basically it's a producer showcase, and 5 to 6, I feel like it was maybe 7 of us, 5 at least producers. We all just plug up and we go beat for beat, just all in a row, all just playing beats, and it was super dope. Mad Beats was a special guest, and he brought me along, and then it was just dope, just to be able to get live feedback on my music. To be quite honest, I don't really get temperature checks on what I'm doing in that way that often. It's particularly not from strangers. So to get a good reaction to the stuff I was playing was, it was super encouraging, and it was very underground. It really wasn't a lot of people there, but the people that were there were the right people, you know. So I was really excited about that, and really grateful to have that experience. And I'm not sure if I've told you guys, we're working on our own producer-centered event here in Memphis, and so I've been like, it was just perfect timing because I've been like basically gathering information and intel from all the other similar beat culture communities around the country, just trying to learn and connect with those people to possibly bring them here. And of course, I want to connect out there as well. So this was like kind of the first in that domino. And I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. We rode in Maz Tesla, so the drive was super easy and comfortable. Slago is a great guest, great host. A great host, him and his wife and his kids. So shout out to them. Just really appreciative. Got up my man Mike Floss and Erica out in Nashville. Mike Floss is a dope artist and organizer. So is Erica. She's not an artist, but she's more on the organization side. Using arts to influence change for black kids, black youth, and the culture out there. And so it was really dope. They came to Memphis because they were doing like a Memphis to Nashville kind of thing. And so they had a show. They booked a show and got a bunch of Memphis artists on the stage. And then they came here and did a recording session, like one of the Dreamville, Revenge of the Dreamers type junts. And we were the engineers, and that was super dope. So that's how we first connected. So yeah, it was dope. What else happened? I got written up. There's a record store here in town, Shangri-La. Shout out to them. Shout out to John Miller. Shout out to Zen Desire. Shout out to Ezra Wheeler. They featured me in their first ever digital magazine, the Shangri-La magazine. And it was just cool. I just talked about, like, I went up to the record store and they got video of me just digging through records, and I was pulling records that just had some significance to me, and I just talked about what they meant to me. It was a really dope interview. Desire asked some good questions, and I just got to talk about the music that influenced me. It was sort of the source code of Kid Maestro. So it was really cool. There's a link. I'm going to drop a link to it. It's not in the description now because I forgot about it, so just talking about it. But I will drop a link. I'll adjust so you guys can check it out. Super cool. And yeah. And then we had our very first Outer Space Cypher yesterday, where we invited a bunch of lyricists and spitters in the city to come, and we did this like cypher jump where we traveled from room to room in the space. And so we're working on that video, but we got that done. And that was super dope. I always just love just getting around rappers who's talking rap, and I know I knew most of them, so it was just good to like reconnect because some of them I hadn't seen in a little minute. So yeah, it was just dope. All that to say, this week has been pretty busy. I've been working on a lot of stuff, and I got a show coming up this Saturday, just an hour set at Inkwell. So I've played at Inkwell a couple of times. I DJ. I'm also a DJ. And I think this time, though, because I'm not the sole DJ, I really want to try to do something different and do more of like a producer set instead of like more closer to a DJ set like I normally do. I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty nervous about it because there'll be other DJs, and this is not like a producer event where people are expecting that. This is just like a normal, like, kind of chill lounge bar kind of situation. And you know, both times I've been received really well, and of course I have an eclectic taste in music, so I've thrown in that kind of stuff mixed with a bunch of stuff, but it really wasn't like my music, my beats, my flips, and all that kind of stuff. And I want to do it on the push, which I haven't done a performance on the push yet. So that's a huge kind of undertaking to prepare for. But I keep feeling like, similar to Tajin tapes, like I just got to do it. Like I got to get it out and let improvement happen on the next iterations. But I have these ideas, and I feel like this is the perfect opportunity, and I want to really take advantage of it. So it's going to be another busy week, and pretty much a busy rest of this month. All through the first week of May. Yeah, because some dope stuff coming up. Gonna do some shows with Miss Hill. Gonna head to Coachella on the 20th/21st. And then she's coming to Memphis, which is crazy, with the Fugees. So I'm gonna work that show. So I got this show with me. And then two Miss Hill shows. So it's gonna be crazy. And so I gotta figure out like just how to adjust and make sure I'm doing what I gotta do. Like last night, pretty much all of this week's Taj tape, beat tape, was done yesterday. 7 joints all in a day. And, I just had to knock them out because I really didn't have the time to break it up this week. And I anticipated like these moments happening when I decided I was going to do this every week. And so like, kind of I've been saying there may come a time where I don't do it for that week, but I really want to make sure that I don't accept that time prematurely. If it's meant to come, I want to aim for all the weeks I'm going to do it until I decide, okay, this is not serving me anymore, or I need to do something else or adjust altogether. But right now, I want to continue and be consistent with this. And so I'm really proud of this, man. Before I got started, like I really, because I was like, it was like, okay, I got to finish this tonight, basically, and get it all done. I really, you ever felt just very anxious about stuff? And like, that either causes paralysis or you jump into stuff like just rushing, trying to get done. You ignore other things. And man, as you guys know, I'm pretty spiritual, and like Sundays, like I really try to set a time aside to like fill up, read the word, listen to some sermons, and just, spend that time, because it's a huge part of, my life and how good I feel and my mental health and attitude and focus and all of that stuff. But it's pretty easy when, there are things on the table to just kind of let that, you know what I mean? And I decided not to do that. So it did take me a little longer to get started, but it's just that faith that like taking care of the important things, even though they may not seem the most urgent, will yield the best results. And I feel that way. I'm pretty happy with the way this beat tape turned out. And in the midst of it, I wasn't really like hearing it, but like hearing it all together, I was like, oh wow, this kind of came together. It's just, there's like a piece of me that doesn't often get expressed in this one. Like with this joint, this one is called Phone Tag. Like, I don't know, it just has like that darkness that like I feel like comes out. It came out a lot in volume 12, but because I was really frustrated when I was making it. But this, I don't know, it just has something. And then I was doing like mini challenges, like, okay, I'm only gonna have 4 tracks, you know what I'm saying? And it was just kind of coming together. Some stuff was like, I was really trying to find something, but all in all, I think I really enjoy how this turned out. And so I'm gonna be really listening to this one. This was the first one where I didn't have a clear favorite at the end of it. Like, usually I'll have a favorite, and those favorites will change over time. But this one, I'm not sure yet. Like, they all just kind of have like something different that I deeply appreciate that I was able to express. This is all really, truly self-expression. And I used to not create from that place, right? I used to create more from an exploration place, right? Where I was just trying out sounds and just trying to find something. But oftentimes I find myself really trying to like express an emotion, or when an emotion comes up, like really follow it. So yeah, this was It was dope. So let me know what y'all think. Taj and Tapes Volume 14. Let's get it. So I have very short time today. Not sure if I'll be able to finish a full beat, but I have to go to like some sort of like musicians roundtable later today, and I want to check out the Eclipse if I can. Um, but with that being said, I'm just gonna go ahead and get right into cooking up something. See what we come up with. See what we can find, and yeah, and try not to go over time. Okay. Hit it with the fade. Y'all know what it is. I also have to mention that kind of tired. So it's probably another reason I got these glasses on. Because if y'all, I really didn't get no sleep last night. So if y'all saw my face, y'all be like, "Oh, bro, you look dead as a mug." So yeah, keeping these on for the day. It's gonna be interesting because I've been in creative settings, and like just social and familiar joints with these shades on, but I have yet to do anything quote unquote business like or networking. Um, and some of the people there will know me, and some people won't. Either way, I am anticipating me walking in there with these shades on, and then them not coming off is gonna throw some people off. So we'll see what happens. I also feel like I might be in a dark room too. So yeah, but I'm saying we take risks. Are you wondering how I just got this all chopped up? So I don't know if you guys have seen some of the previous episodes, but when I first got the push, I got it at the end of February, like around Thanksgiving. I'm sorry, February, tripping, November, around Thanksgiving, like a couple days or the day after Thanksgiving, it arrived in the mail. And before I opened it, or before I started using it, I spent maybe like 2 weeks just like digitizing a lot of my records or some of my records and just searching for samples, gathering drum breaks and sounds, creating instruments um, and drum racks to load up and have all ready to go. So in that process, this sample came from one of the records that I got in Toronto, and in preparing, I decided, oh, let me try pre-chopping this. Like instead of having just like the song on there, like do the work and find something I like, chop it up, and then put that away for later to use. And so that's why this is already ready, which is perfect because I'm low on time. So we'll see. Hopefully, this inspires something dope. And yeah, but just explaining how this is like that already.
Little shell, tell me about the ocean. the ocean, about the, tell me about the ocean, about the, tell me about the ocean, about the, about the ocean, tell me, little shell, tell me about the sea. Where have you been? Where have you been? Where have you been? Where is your home? Where have you been? Where is your home? Little shell, little shell that the waves brought to me.
So that was a quick something. I'll let you guys know I don't really have much time, so the fine adjustments are gonna have to come a little bit later in a few hours. You know what I'm saying? But I will save this. We're gonna call it solar eclipse because that is exactly what is happening right now while I'm inside. And I'm going to try to get out there and catch a little bit of it because I've never seen an actual solar eclipse in real life. And I always feel like when they come around and I miss them, it's usually because I'm doing something like this. I'll be like, dang, man, I'm not going to see this for another 1,000 years or something. And then it happens, and the same thing happens all over again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a potential once-in-a-lifetime experience, if I can. But I'm very glad that I got to start the day off with this. That came together rather nicely. Shout out to having samples pre-chopped and prepared. Okay, S. I told you about the naming conventions of these, or the naming process of this, right? It like, the push, once you sit save, it makes a name for you, which is actually pretty convenient. However, for me, it makes it difficult because I'm making so many all at once, and I'm not transferring them right away. And the names usually mean something to me, so I have to name them myself. So to rename them is simple enough, but it has a whole file structure where it's a project folder, and then in that project folder it contains like your samples and whatnot and the actual session. The session and the project are usually named the same thing. So you can name them independently. But I need them to be the same name for Eclipse. I need them to be the same name because when I'm on the computer trying to transfer the beats over, Eclipse, I spelled that wrong. Eclipse. I need to be able to, I'm looking at the project folder. So even if I only rename the session, I would have to go through a bunch of projects that I don't know what they're called to find what I'm looking for. And I did try that, and it was a mess. So I renamed the project, and then I go in and rename the session. I've been numbering these since I got the push to keep track of how many beats I've made on this thing. Right now we're at 161. This was my 161st beat. On the push 3 is Stand Alone. And now, but with the naming, there's a trick to it. If you rename the session you're working on, and then you try to load another session or start a new set, what will happen is it's like RAM will basically, this project is basically still under the old name that it automatically gave it in its RAM, right? So when I hit save, now that session technically doesn't exist anymore because I changed the name, it's going to make a new session under a new name of this same beat. Just, you know what I'm saying? It's just an organizational mess. So what you got to do is you hit save on the beat, go and do your renaming, and then go in and reload this same beat with the new name. And when it asks you, do you want to save, make sure you hit don't save. And then that old beat basically deletes and is replaced with the new one, with the new name. So now I'm going to hit don't save, load up what I just did. Now the other one's gone, and all that remains is this. And that concludes today's episode. A live from Butterfly. Appreciate y'all joining me today. I know I'm getting out of here a little quicker than normal, but yeah, we still talked. We still talked about life, and we made some music. And yeah, I appreciate y'all for being here. And again, check out Taj and Tapes, which is in the description. And I will see y'all next week.